Right, guys, welcome to the
third episode. We've made it this
consecutive
far.
William Reid Watches podcast, joined again by my co-host and friend Josh.
Buongiorno amici.
Buongiorno amici.
I'm not the breathy one today. It's you.
Yeah,
You're
I
the
know,
breathy one.
I know. My back's in absolute bits, mate. I don't know what's happened. I woke
About
up this morning and I could hardly move.
About 20 minutes ago, I had him on the floor shaking his legs out.
Shaking his legs.
You look like a broken man this morning, but
Mate, it was honestly,
I don't know if it's the Red Bull or the leg shake.
my back is killing me today. But actually, I went to mum and dad's there and my dad put a heat pain-killing patch. He actually put it on my arse first.
Ah, it was in your
I had to
arse.
tell him to move it up a bit. So,
You reckon it was the gym that fucked it up, or?
nah. Do you know what I think it was? Played football Tuesday, Wednesday, and then went to gym the next morning. And then I don't know, maybe I've just done too much in my back. So, but I do have back problems. It's the way I sleep. It's not.
Yeah, you were just saying how you sleep.
It's the way I sleep. So like,
First of all, I think
Excuse me.
you're a psychopath for sleeping on your front.
I just sleep like, if you can imagine a sniper lying down to take a shot with his like leg up. That's
Yeah.
how I sleep.
That's strange, mate.
Any advice you get on sleeping tells you not to sleep like that. It gives you bad back.
I'd be
back
scared
problems.
I'd suffocate, to be honest.
So
But
not
we are back. It's February now. We are living a healthy lifestyle. Maybe not my diet, but in terms of being more active, I'd say we're more active, no?
I'm always chinning you about this diet, but you go to the gym 5 days a week and go home and have
Chicken Kiebs.
chicken Kievs and pasta for your dinner. It's just like, it's
But we
unbelievable.
are. I mean, we're training what 5-6 times a week.
5-6 times a week, back on it. Need to try and feel good for the summer.
So Monday's chest, Tuesday's chest, Wednesday's
For you,
shoulders,
you just
Thursday
love doing
chest.
chest, don't you?
no legs.
Flat bench. So we're back and we're on it for the summer. So I think let's just crack on and just get into
Aye.
the podcast
But-
because
but-
I feel like the last one was
Oh, the intro was quite a while.
excuse me, the last one was about an hour and 10 minutes long. Maybe it was a wee bit too long. The first
Yeah.
one was
We'll watch-
40 odd minutes.
Right, we'll watch the clock.
Um,
We'll watch the clock.
so,
But,
so let's just kick off.
but you were talking about mentally. What does the gym do for you?
You know, it's a bit of a catch-22 situation, I think, because mentally it's actually hard to get yourself to go. But once you've got over that hurdle of actually going,
Once you've gone.
once you've gone and you come out, you always feel 100 times better.
Well,
like
you
mental
look like you've had
space.
like 5 Red Bulls when you come out. Like you're
Aye.
buzzing.
Endorphins makes you feel
Yeah.
good. Makes you feel like you've accomplished something in that day, rather than I don't know. It just makes you feel a bit sluggish if you
Yeah.
haven't went. It's just it's good. It's hard to actually get up and go, but it's the best decision ever if you can go. If you can get into a good routine,
Yeah.
then I think it's definitely good.
I think we should go earlier in the morning though.
Earlier, yeah, it's so difficult just now, just because of how dark it is in the mornings.
Also-
I can't honestly. Usually, I'm out my bed 6 a.m. every single morning, like bright as a button.
Yeah.
7:30, I'm snoozing my alarm till like 8:15. Like, I
Yeah,
cannot
it's
get out of my
bad.
bed. I don't know what's going
I'm
on.
the same. But the gym we go to also, it's not very motivational, is it? It's not like you go there and they've like, makeup wipes and everything for you to go into the
Makeup wipes?
Yeah, not that I've got makeup.
What do you
on,
mean,
but
makeup wipes?
It's like you go into the changing room and there's like everything you need.
Listen,
it is
do you know
like
the gym
a dirty gym.
is a functional gym. It's got everything you need. It's simple, easy. That's exactly what I want from a gym. I
Well,
don't want a health club
I
that's
do.
got 300 running machines, 42 cross trainers, and old men walking about the changing rooms with their knobs out, mate. What is the obsession with old men doing that? Every time you used to go to
Obviously
that
don't get
gym,
it out.
every single time I used to go to that gym, there would be at least 2 or 3 old men standing talking to each other with their knobs out.
Just
It's
hanging
like
out.
obsession with old guys love being naked in the
Feeling
changing
it in the
room.
wind.
Don't know what that's
No,
all
we've
about.
seen some mad stuff in that gym. So this is probably about 5 weeks. We saw a guy on the cross trainer.
Guy in the cross trainer playing the flute.
An
But it was
imaginary-
imaginary flute. He didn't actually have
imaginary
a
flute.
flute. Aye, that was fun.
The guy a few weeks back was doing the Rubik's Cube in between sets.
Rubik's Cube in between sets, and he was getting so annoyed at himself in between the sets because he couldn't manage to get it done.
But
And I was
90% of
like-
them are like making the craziest noises.
Aye, listen, I
And
actually
the
don't
music.
mind. I don't mind that the music's a bit fucked up, but
The music.
it'll go from like Rihanna to the Beach Boys to Fleetwood Mac
To Chief Keef.
to Slipknot, like all on the one playlist, like one after another. I don't know. I don't get the music, but actually the gym's very good.
Yeah. Well,
Functionally, machines wise, weights,
yeah.
everything's very good.
But then we're talking about, what it does for you mentally. You're going through some shit at the minute. Like, do you want to address it or do we not address it?
Listen, I don't think we need to go into it, but a bit of a transitional period in my life.
Yeah.
that, you know, the gym and being in a routine really helps with. I think it gives you mental clarity. I'm a bit of a worrier at heart. I think I'm just quite an emotional person. I think that's because I grew up with sisters and a mum. I'm really close to my mum.
Yeah.
So I think emotionally I'm not really that greatly equipped at dealing with my own emotions. So I feel like sometimes being in a routine and having something that you get up and go to every day gives you a bit of mental clarity and gets you maybe out of that headspace that really you don't really need to be in. So I feel like it's good. It's good to be in a routine. It's good to have stuff to look forward to. It's good to be busy all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's helped really this year. Obviously, looking into January of this year, obviously it's quite quiet at the tail end of last year, being honest. January's been really great.
January's been mental.
It's good to keep busy. It keeps your mind off things that you know like aren't worth thinking about. So it's good. It's good to be busy. January's been really good so far. I know obviously this is the 2nd of February now we're recording this podcast, but January's been great. Especially the last couple of weeks, there's definitely been a bit more of a buzz in the market. A lot more buyers, a lot more people asking for stuff, a lot more requests coming in, a lot more people looking to sell stuff. So definitely a good buzz back in the market, which is good to see because it's been out of the market for a long time.
And there's certain watches which we cannot keep in stock.
Yeah, root beers at the minute. I think
Crazy.
3, nearly 4 in the last kind of 6, 7, 8 days. Great value at the minute. You'll see 2024 brand new models listed online from certain dealers at 16.5, 17 grand. I'm selling them new 23 at 15.5, 15 maybe for a slightly used one, 15.5 for a new one. So like that's good value for people. Obviously the prices have just gone up. So they are.
It's a lot of watch for the price.
Yeah,
A lot of watch.
a Blue Sky Dweller is kind of in a similar region like that just now. They're anywhere between kind of 15 and 17.5, 18 grand at the moment. That's good, really good value for that watch. So definitely a bit of a buzz back in the market for those pieces. And there's a wee bit of there's a probably 2 or 3 week period where you're able to pick those deals up still because dealers are in them at the old prices.
Yeah.
When all those watches get sold, then they'll then start coming back at the new prices, and then those prices that you can get them at 15.5 are now gone. So
anyone looking
get them
for a
where you
root
can,
beer or Blue Sky Dweller, hit us up. The second episode of the podcast went live last night.
Second episode went live last night, 7 o'clock. So the podcasts go live on a Thursday. For those of you who don't know, they go live on a Thursday at 7 o'clock. It's every second Thursday. Just because I don't know if we want to bore people to tears doing one every week. Plus, I don't know if you'd have enough to talk about every week. So, every second Thursday, got a good reception. People saying it's a lot better than the first one.
Yeah.
You're a lot less nervous. You interrupt me a lot less.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the second one was good.
Yeah, feedback has been positive. My dad was the one who gave me my kind of hardest hitting feedback. He said the bass I looked terrible. Shouts out, Dad, I love you. And he does watch it. He tunes in, bang on the money every single Thursday.
You'll watch
at
this
7.
and be like,
yeah,
"Stop,
Dad, I
you're
love you.
talking about us."
I love you. But he said I had bags under my eyes. He said my eyes were red. So, thanks.
Uncle Fester.
Yeah,
Really.
Uncle
But,
Fester. But also they did say, not 100% watches. So we'll go on to some news.
Listen, the point of this podcast for me is just it's not just about watches.
No,
I want to talk about life.
Yeah.
What happens to me in my life, what's happened to you in your life. Certain situations I've been through, what I've learned from those situations, what I'm doing to help myself, what my plans are for the future. It's not just about buying and selling watches, because listen, go on and on every single day. There's a million watch podcasts out there.
Yeah, we're trying to be different.
That are more knowledgeable than I am about watches. And are fucking, do you know what I mean? If you want to go and watch a watch podcast, go and tune into somebody else. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's just not just about watches. It's about life, everything, life experience, what I've learned, what you've learned. We're getting a bit older now, mate. We can shed some light on the younger generation.
We're fucking old, mate. Yeah. But let's talk about some news.
Yeah.
Yesterday, this came out that Lewis Hamilton's moving to Ferrari. What's your take?
Massive news.
Yeah, I didn't expect it.
Didn't see it coming, but kind of did see it coming as well. I think with the last couple of years being obviously quite rough for Mercedes with Hamilton, I think he's maybe thinking about when's his career going to end. He's getting a bit older now. Obviously, he's tied. Is it 8 championships with Schumacher?
7, I think.
7.
I think they've both got 7.
So they're both on 7 championships. He's going to be conscious that Max is going to be knocking on that door probably if they have another few successful years at Red Bull. He could never have went to Red Bull. Maybe Mercedes' plans for the next 2 or 3 years, aren't living up to his expectations. So he's looking elsewhere. The next best thing is Ferrari. Maybe he's had a few meetings with them and thought the direction that they're going in could help me challenge for another championship before I retire. I don't know. I think Formula One's one of those sports that's so such fine detail, such fine margins between winning and losing that it probably makes a massive difference as you get a bit older. Are you as on it? Are you as sharp as you were when you were 21, 22, 23? Probably not.
But it's obviously not the money. The money's not.
Listen, these guys are on. Formula One's a sport that you have to have money in to start anyway. If you think about the karting scene, Formula 3, like all these guys who are driving these cars, I mean, Hamilton, you could say just had exceptional talent. Obviously, Verstappen's dad used to race. Schumacher's dad used to race. Like all these young kids, like Lando Norris's dad's like does very well. All these young kids who get into racing tend to come from families of a certain level of wealth. There's obviously some outliers there, but yeah, I'm excited to see actually Hamilton in a Ferrari suit and see him in a Ferrari car. It'll be definitely something different, but. I think if he could get 8 championships, I think then he'll hang up his race suit and call it a day. But I kind of lost interest a little bit in the Formula One after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, where
Max and Lewis,
where the restart happened and they restarted then Max in front. Restarted Max from the back to right behind Lewis. Lewis had old tyres, Max had new tyres.
It was fishy.
Yeah, it was just a bit odd. And then
fishy situation, I agree.
I kind of lost a little bit of interest after
I think a lot of people did. I was in the same boat, and I think a lot of people did. Like Drive to Survive, I don't even really... I mean, I watch it, but I'm not as, engaged as I was.
The last couple of seasons have been kind of one-man seasons, right? Like Verstappen's kind of won loads. I don't know, I'm just not a massive Verstappen fan. Yeah. I don't get the hype over him. I love Lewis's story and where he came from, and
he's British as well, so
he's British. Yeah, it's just cool, isn't it? Yeah. I like Mercedes for me. It's just the coolest team anyway.
We were talking yesterday when the news broke. Like Formula One's one of those sports which it's very like car dependent. Like there's only a certain point where drivers can get so good. I don't know if I'm explaining this.
Yeah, I mean, I think what you're trying to say is at some point in the future, there's going to come a time where a car can't go around that racetrack any quicker. Yeah, whether they change the rules and regulations to then, give teams an opportunity to get a little bit quicker, but you're talking like tenths of a second. There's not massive margins in this. So is it going to get to a point where cars can only go around that circuit so fast? It's like Monaco, for example, like overtaking in Monaco is really difficult because obviously it's so narrow. Yeah. So the opportunities to overtake on that circuit are really small. So generally you see that, the pole, the person who gets pole generally wins the race or is close to winning or second or third. Like it's never really someone from the back that then goes through to win it. But yeah, I think it's one of those sports that the engineering's probably coming to a point where does it get any better than it already is?
Yeah.
Especially with AI and stuff coming into the sport now. It's probably been in the sport for a few years, but that's definitely something that I think they're going to need to look at. And I think Lewis has made an interesting decision. Let's just see how he gets on. Hopefully he wins. I'd love to see him win a championship with Ferrari. I think that'd be so cool.
It's nice to see like sport news not relating to money, because that's all you tend to see. Yeah. This is a guy who's so hungry for another title. He has to obviously make a move. He's probably losing money, if anything. But
Formula One in general is one of the wealthiest sports in the world. Like in terms of, the money that these guys get paid is outrageous. They are that racing team's brand.
Yeah.
So like, can you imagine Mercedes Petronas existing without Lewis Hamilton?
No, yeah.
I don't know. Can you imagine Schumacher and Ferrari being as big without Schumacher? Probably. I don't know. I don't know if you can. Can you imagine? There's loads of other ones. Even Daniel Ricciardo at McLaren, like when he was doing well at McLaren, I don't know. It's one of those sports that it's very much because there's only 2 drivers in a team. That's their marketing point for all of their stuff that comes out. And usually if the team wins, like if Ferrari wins, then Ferrari sales will go up. So it's obviously business led to a certain extent, but I think the drive for Hamilton is definitely he's trying to win. He's trying to beat that record, isn't he? To go down in history as the most successful Formula One driver ever.
Yeah. And we were talking about another sports star, Marcus Rashford.
Rashford, yeah.
He's been up to no good. He's been under...
Rashford, honestly, Rashford gets a bad rep.
He doesn't help himself.
He's a scapegoat because he had a great season last season. I think did he almost get nominated for Player of the Year? So he played really well last season. This season, Man United aren't doing so well. He's the easy one to target.
Yeah.
I listened to the Overlap podcast, Gary Neville, Roy Keane, Ian Wright and Jamie Carragher. great podcast. Love that podcast. But Keane was sticking up for him, which you would think like he would be the one to be like
against it.
Yeah. But he was sticking up for him and said, "Look, like it's we've all done it." You need to bear in mind, Rashford's like 24.
I know, mate, but you're getting paid that much money, right, to do one thing.
The guy's on £300,000 a week, right?
Yeah, but why are you going?
Or maybe bloody more than 300 grand a week. Like, at some stage, you're going to have some blowout.
Like some blowout, but night before a game in Dublin.
It was training. I don't think it was a game.
Oh, right,
he didn't turn up to training.
2 nights before a game.
Didn't turn up to training because he had a few drinks the night before. I mean, if that's a Brighton player.
Is he getting
right? Is he getting that amount of news? If that's a Spurs player, is he getting that amount of news? Probably not. But it's just because Man United are in a hole at the minute, and whoever's the biggest scapegoat that they can find, the media can find, they just pin it all on him.
Well, he shut me up because he scored last night in 5 minutes. So
did he score? They won 4-3 last night against Wolves,
unbelievable game. 5 minutes in, he was the one who scored, so he shut me up.
Listen, and that would have been great for his confidence.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
Can you imagine he's just like
walking up to that corner flag, like, go on, keep talking.
Piss off the lot of you. Like, I can go on a night out and like drink. I think the drinking culture in football these days, obviously, these guys are athletes. The amount of R&D that goes into their health and fitness and everything else, the drinking culture is just non-existent really now in comparison to maybe when Keane was coming through, when he was in his early teens, maybe early 20s when he was coming through. Obviously, the drinking culture was massive. Yeah. Nowadays, they're getting pinned to the wall for having a few beers with their pals on a night out, like a night before training. Is it that big a deal? No, it's not. It's just because they're so in the media spotlight that any wrong step, they just get hammered for it.
Yeah.
Which must be so difficult. I mean, all right, the money's amazing, but that doesn't mean your life's then easy. Mm-hmm. You know, it'd be great to have 350 grand a week, don't get me wrong. Like,
and good to have 350 grand a year.
Exactly.
In my lifetime.
What I'm trying to say is, like, it's not as easy as it looks.
Nah, for sure. Go back to some more news. Watch news. 5980 being discontinued.
Yeah, big list of discontinuations from Patek.
Go on, you know them.
I don't know them all, but I'll rhyme off a few. So 5980 gone on a leather and on a full bracelet. 5712G white gold Nautilus gone. 5712R rose gold on a leather is gone. Not the 5712R on a full bracelet. And a 5164A, which is a travel time stainless steel Aquanaut, is also gone. There's a few more. I don't know the references off the top of my head.
How many of them have we got in stock?
None, actually. None. We don't have any.
Opportunity missed. But you're not fortunate.
It's such a strange time for them to release those discontinuations, the 31st of January.
You thought it'd be Baselworld, right?
I mean, sometimes Patek are always a bit outliers in terms of when they announce new models. Like tail end of last year, they announced those gem set models. No one else is announcing models at that time of year. No. It's a big list of discontinuations from Patek. It's quite out there, but exciting because the discontinuations means that there's something coming.
Yeah.
You know, people always say, "What do you think is going to come?" Patek don't do a lot in yellow gold, hardly any. Are they making room for a big yellow gold chrono?
That'd be cool.
I don't know if it would sell as well. Yellow gold is a bit more brash than rose. It's not as understated as rose. I don't know. It's exciting times. I think I'm looking forward to see what they bring out this year. But they've discontinued a lot, so let's just see what they bring out. Exciting for sure, but none in stock, so we're not capitalising on the discontinuations, unfortunately.
Not this time.
Actually, I've got a history of doing that though. Like, I must have sold 4 or 5 5711 roses 3 or 4 weeks before they got discontinued at 120, 110, 115. They got discontinued. All of a sudden, they were 300 grand overnight. You know what I mean? I must have left 600 or 700 grand on the table.
Yeah, but a story that always sticks out for me is the Tiffany OP.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That was one you did well on.
Yeah. So I must have bought Tiffany OP 41s were 12 grand.
Yeah.
That's what they cost. They were always 12 grand. 5711 Tiffany got released. The only other watch on the market with that colour of dial was the OP41 Tiffany. So I quickly tried to buy as many as I could. I managed to buy 5. Would have been 6 had a guy not let me down on it. Guy from London called Biggs. I'll shout him out on this podcast because
dearie me, Biggs.
I don't think he sells watches anymore, but he's
actually doing time.
Stuffed me on stuffed me on a watch because someone else offered him like a grand more after saying he would do the deal. But anyway, long story short, I ended up with 5 rather than 6. And yeah, I think bought them at 12, between 12 and 13 grand. Sold some of them at 20, sold some of them at 18, sold some of them at 28, 27. That was a good day at the office. But that was just luck. That could have went either way. For me, that was a win-win situation. If I buy 5 and they still stay at 12 grand, then I'll just sell them. If I buy 5 and they rocket through the roof, then I'll get out of them. So, laughing. Yeah, arguably I held on to them for a bit long, but listen, beggars can't be choosers. A win's a win.
So before we jump into our first kind of topic, one more question for you. What are you doing if you get called into the army?
Mate, I honestly don't know.
Would you be any good, do you think?
Don't know if I've got the balls for it, mate, to be honest.
I'd do it. I'd just be useless, honestly.
But how did they do it? Like, would they just like right, flights, borders shut, everyone under the age of 45 is going to the army?
They were shutting just before they were shutting borders, where would you go? Like, where would you dip to?
You'd have to go as far away as possible, wouldn't you?
Like Dubai, Australia.
We couldn't go to Australia because they're an ally, aren't they?
Dubai is.
British colony, isn't it? So
I'm actually going to Russia.
Couldn't go to Australia.
I'm going on a holiday to Russia.
I know. China. But no, you'd have to just go to Dubai and hope that nobody came looking for you.
You reckon you get people hitting you up being like, mate, I might die. Get me an Oyster Flex to go into the trenches.
Do you know the funny thing is, like, I want to know what happened like during World War II
to watches or
no, maybe not watches, but just expensive goods in general. Like, do they become massive commodities and does the price shoot through the roof? Or
no, I'm not sure.
Like, is it all of that stuff kind of just put to the side when there's like wartime going on because there's more stuff to think about? But I don't know, would it be an infantry war or is it just someone going like that, pushing a button and that's just a country over, done with, see you later?
Dead anyway,
do you know what I mean? But they're all just fighting over territory.
Yeah.
It's like the Taiwan thing between America and China and the UK and China. It's just like everyone's fighting over territory and that's the whole Russia thing as well.
Yeah.
But I don't know. If it becomes an infantry war, mate, I think I'd need to escape.
We need to delete your COD account. You've got a serious KD. They'd be calling you up.
Aye. Do you know who's got a good COD account? Dale. He'd be gubbed, mate. He'd be on.
Dale would be amazing in war.
He'd be in the first tank out of fucking Glasgow.
He'd love it as well, though. Wouldn't he?
He'd be on it for sure.
Right, let's jump in. So this is probably the topic in the first 2 episodes we're being asked to kind of address the most. Lots of young, inspiring young men watch this podcast. They're asking how to become a watch dealer. They obviously see the swag. They're like, I want a piece of the pie. So
listen, let me just clear one thing up. You know, before we go any further here, Instagram is a highlight reel of your life, right? Please stop believing everything you see on it. Instagram is a tool used by businesses to create a false aura of success so that people buy into what you're selling. That's what Instagram is.
Yeah.
That's what it's for. Yeah. It's a tool, social tool to, you know, get people interested in what you do. Not everything you see on it is 100% real. Do you know what I mean? Like, you see guys on there posting Ferraris and, you know, Bugattis and Rolls Royces. Like,
it's not theirs.
It might be, but it's just so that you can get eyeballs on what you're trying to do, and then you use those eyeballs to then forward it into what you do for a living, whether you sell watches, whether you sell courses, whether you sell cars, whether you sell whatever. It's a tool. Instagram is a highlight reel of your life. No one's really posting the negative parts of their life. And listen, mate, this job's stressful. It's not as easy as everyone thinks it is.
For sure.
Like, I was sweating on Monday after like we posted out a root beer. Obviously, it's insured and stuff, but like, you know, it doesn't turn up, and you know, then all of a sudden you're 15, 16 grand in the hole. You might not get the money back for a few months, and like, that's just a small deal. You know, some deals 30, 40, 50,000, and you can lose that. You know, a guy comes to your office, what are you going to do if a guy pulls out a gun? Like, it's
on you go. Do
you know what I mean? It's a risky business. You're constantly looking over your shoulder. You're constantly putting things in place to keep your family safe. It's not something that you can just go, oh, I want to be a watch dealer tomorrow. Like,
no.
People forget these watches are life-changing amounts of money for people.
But at the same time, let's not put people off the idea. Like,
no, listen, it gives you, done properly, gives you a fantastic lifestyle.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is, be real about it. Mm-hmm. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme.
No.
Do you know, like, all of a sudden tomorrow you're not going to start buying and selling watches. You're not going to be a millionaire in 3 years' time. It doesn't work like that. It's hard work. Mm-hmm. Like, every day I'm on my phone 10, 12 hours a day.
Your WhatsApp is like nothing I've ever seen before.
Emails, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube, like everything is constant, 24 hours a day. People call you at the most ungodly hours of the day trying to get stuff. It's not a 9 to 5 where you can switch off. You're in charge of making your own money. You're in charge of paying your own salary. You're in charge of paying your staff salary. You're in charge of, you know, everything that comes with running that business. You're in charge of. So the buck stops with you. So you have I have sleepless nights, 100%. Like, as you get older, you start to get sleepless nights. You start to worry about things. Is this going to sell? Is it not going to sell? I've had this for 3 months. It's not sold. Nobody's asked me about it. Prices are coming down. Prices are going up. Like, it's a difficult business to be in, but it's a great business and I love it. I know it's a bit of an oxymoron, but like, it's great.
Would you recommend people to be in the industry?
Yeah, I think if you come into the industry with the right
intentions,
expectations,
even better word,
then I think it's a great industry to be in. You know, business morals are the most important attributes you can have in this industry, and those morals will take you very far. People are accepted into this industry very often who are absolute twats, and the fact is watch dealers are sick of it, because every second guy that comes along 6 months in, he's done this, he's done that, he's done this, he's done that. If you come into this industry and you've got good morals, you've got a good business acumen, and you can do deals and stand on what you're going to say and do what you say you're going to do and not let people down, then you'll do well. But listen, very few people are like that these days. And it's also difficult because people come into this business and they start seeing all this wealth all over the place because, oh, this guy might have £1 million worth of stock, or this guy might have £3 million worth of stock, or then all of a sudden numbers are just numbers, and 10 grand is no longer worth 10 grand in your head, and all of a sudden 10 grand is just a sub date. Whereas like before you start to work, 10 grand's a lot of money. Like, so you need to remind yourself of the value of money, because you're dealing with expensive goods all the time. It's hard to overlook it. Sorry, it's easy to overlook the value of money. But yeah, it's a great business. I'll never throw dirt at it because it's given me the lifestyle that I've wanted for years. And I think it's great. You just need to be wary of believing everything you see on social media.
Right. Well, let's reel it back. How can somebody get into the industry? What's the first step?
People ask me this question 17,000 times a week. The first step, just go and buy something and try and sell it. You'll learn so much more from that than procrastinating on your arse, worrying about buying and selling watches for the next 6 months. Phone me. Hi, mate. I'm looking to become a watch dealer. Have you got anything that you think I can make money on? No, a watch dealer's not going to hang the phone up on you.
No.
Oh, yeah, mate. I've got a sub date here. I gave 9 grand for. I could maybe sell it to you for 9.5. You could retail it for 10.5. Like, that's a conversation you can have on the phone, but be serious. Be willing to buy it.
Yeah.
That's the point. The more people you phone around and waste people's time, the less chance you've got of actually becoming someone who people are going to trust. Whereas if you phone the one guy and you're willing to do some business and do some deals, then people will help you. People in the watch industry aren't cunts. They're all nice guys, but they're just sick of people wasting their time. And then they then get lumbered with, oh, he didn't answer his phone, he didn't do this, he didn't do that. Mate, live with my phone for one day. Honestly.
Nah, no, thank you.
Like,
I've seen it.
It goes 24/7.
It does.
You cannot switch off. Like, I go on holiday, you cannot switch off from your phone. So it's eventually you just become a bit numb to the amount of messages and calls you get. But
well, we threw up yesterday. It was like an Instagram ask us questions for the podcast. 95% of them is, how much do they need in order to become a watch dealer? Like, what is like a starting budget?
How long's a piece of string?
No, I know, but we've got to take into account that kids might be like 16, 17, 18, might not have big budgets.
I had 9 grand.
9 grand you had?
10 years ago, 9 grand 10 years ago bought you 2 Daytonas. Do you know what I mean? 5 grand a piece, like 4.5, 5 grand a piece, or a sub and a Daytona, 3.5 and 5 grand. That was the time back then. So you were able to then use that money to buy, reinvest, and keep your pot going up and up and up. Up eventually to the point where you've got a decent amount and you can then start buying stuff, keeping it in stock. It's about managing your money. It's about buying and reinvesting. That's a lot more difficult now because there's so much more competition in the market. Right, when I used to go to Hatton Garden, I used to shit myself, mate, walking along that street because I had zero experience. I didn't know where to go. I didn't know who to talk to. Like, I used to go pick up a watch. I couldn't wait to get away from the place because I was so nervous. Because I didn't know what I was doing. I was just a kid, like 21, 22, whatever. And there used to be a few big dealers. Boy, one guy who was like the only guy in Hatton Garden. It's Abs for me, Jaws, but he was like the only guy in Hatton Garden that had 20, 30, 40 watches, 20 gold pieces. People always say, oh, he's blown up like in the last bollocks, mate. That guy's been at it for years and years and years. He's been at it for years, that guy. So he's deserved success and good on him. His company's shitting through the roof, and he deserves everything he gets. But it's difficult to put a number on how much you actually need. Conservatively, probably you'd be looking, if you want to become a watch dealer means you have to buy stuff and stock it and offer it for sale. If you're a broker, you don't really need any money because you're just joining one guy to the next guy and taking your cut out the middle. If you want to become a watch dealer, I think, 25, 30 grand probably would be a starting point that you could maybe throw some money about and try and make some money. Buy a couple of date jars, maybe a sub date. You could then try and sell them, reinvest the money. It's just difficult to get up the business off the ground now because there's so much competition. And if you've got 30 grand, you're trying to pay your salary, you need to hit every deal out the park to make good money on it. Whereas the guy that's got £500,000 worth of stock can maybe afford to make 500 quid on that watch, whereas you're trying to make 1,500 quid. So then he's beating you on price. So it's a difficult market to be in now. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly don't know the answer to that.
Yeah, obviously I live it with you, but what is a typical day? Like, what does it look like?
Usually I'm up 6:30 on my phone, just looking through stuff that's coming in. So like if we've got any orders going out that day, I'll plan them. If I've got any WhatsApp messages to get back to, I'll get back to them. If I've like had any during the night or whatever, stuff that I've been sourcing the day before. Some stuff comes from America, some stuff comes from outside the UK, so obviously they're working on different time zones, so you get messages throughout the night. I'll check on those, check on my sourcing list, see if I've got anything available that I can send out to clients. I'll be on my email list, be on the website, making sure that there's any inquiries coming in, just checking up on comments, messages, DMs, WhatsApps. That's kind of about an hour in the morning, whereas I try and just catch up with all of that. Once I've then caught up with all of that, I'll get my diary out. I'm such a writer down of stuff. Like I can't
have a Cartier pen.
Yeah, I got a Cartier pen for my 30th birthday of my parents, but I can't have like my diary on my phone.
Yeah,
I just don't take it seriously. Whereas if I write it down,
you like to tick it off.
Yeah, so I'll go to my diary. I'll have like a to-do list. So I'll be like, right, meet Josh today, deliver a root beer. Go to Bearsden to pick up a, day date. Go to Kinnan Park to meet someone for a coffee. Go here to speak to this guy. Post this. Do a reel. So I'll be 5, 6, 7 things on my list that every day I'll then tick off, and then we do that during the day. I always like to go for breakfast in the morning. That's just a habit of mine. So you'll come pick me up in the morning. If we don't go to the gym, we'll just go straight for breakfast, have some food, plan the day around the diary, get everything done. Comes to the end of the day, we've done everything. Then it's just about planning for the next day. And you're honestly from about 5 o'clock till about 8:30 at night, you're just on your phone. I'm just getting back to customers. I'm posting stuff on socials. I'm, planning for the next podcast. I'm saying, right, I need to go and pick that up in London next week, so I need to book a flight for then. You're always just trying to forward plan. It's one of those businesses that you never know what's going to come around the corner. It's just hard to say, do you know what, I can make Saturday because Friday night might come and a guy might call me and say, mate, can you get me such and such? I might find one in Manchester, and before you know it, I'm in Manchester on Saturday and I can't make it back.
I mean, that's it.
It's 6, 7 in the morning till 8, 9 o'clock, sometimes later at night. And I mean, I went out the other night at, I'd just come back from London on a flight, landed at 8 o'clock. I was out, in like north of Scotland picking something up at 10:30 at night, and I've been out the whole day from 6 o'clock in the morning. So sometimes people just think he's sitting his arse the whole day, posting stuff on social media, waiting for people to phone him and tell him they need a watch. But it's a lot more than that. And because I think I try and give a personal service, I want to meet people.
Yeah.
I want people to know that when they're offering me stuff, it's important. So I'm happy to go and meet them at 10 o'clock at night or whatever time suits them. And the flexibility of me and this business means that people phone you when they need something. Hi, mate, I've got something to pay for tomorrow. What would you buy that sub for? All right, mate, I'll be at your house in 45 minutes. Let's try and do a deal.
Yeah.
Like,
you really do that. It's not...
Oh, 100%. Yeah, mate, I've done it 100 times. Like,
we've done it 3 times this week.
Yeah, it's a personal service. I'm not a 9 to 5. I'm not a shop. I'm not an office 9 to 5. I will work from 6 o'clock in the morning till 3 o'clock in the morning. I mean, not that Christmas Eve there, but the Christmas Eve before, I was out till 3 in the morning because I had a guy who wanted to buy something for his wife. I had to go to London to pick it up. I come all the way back to Scotland, had to drive up to his, deliver it. I'm in his house at like 1:30 in the morning taking links out the watch so he can give it to his wife the next day. Like, you're not getting that service off everyone.
Yeah.
So it's a long day. I enjoy it. I love it. Would I have it any other way? No. I left that 9 to 5 job to become a watch dealer, and until I'm old and tired and angry and
Wrinkly.
pissed off, then I think I'll do it forever.
Yeah. I mean, a big part of our day at the moment is like planning social. Which
How hard is it?
it's hard, but we're coming up with like original ideas. I think there's no one really doing what we're doing on social
tough,
media,
mate. It's
except
tough.
for now. Now everyone's
Yeah,
jacking the swag.
everyone's but listen, being copied is flattering.
Yeah, of course.
Excuse me, if there was no one copying you, I'd be worried.
Yeah,
But yeah, mate, the social stuff's tough, mate.
yeah.
You've got Instagram now, you've got
TikTok.
you've got LinkedIn, you've got YouTube, you've got
Podcast.
exactly the podcasters. It's try every day. You need to try and post something every day, and you're thinking, people think it's easy, mate. It's tough.
Nah, it is. It
Tough.
generally is
trying
tough.
to plan stuff. We're about a week ahead in terms of planning stuff and trying to get stuff out every single day and
Yeah.
make sure it's good content and people are engaged with it, because I'd like to think that my level of content or our level of content is pretty high.
Oh, yeah.
You're then having to maintain that level. Every single time you post something, people are waiting for it to be good.
Yeah.
You start posting shitty photos of watches, then people will
it.
be like, I fucking lost interest in
Yeah.
that. Like, you need to keep your community engaged.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the hardest thing, especially across all platforms, because all the platforms want different stuff. TikTok we're on TikTok Live, like we do TikTok Lives now, and
That's a new thing. Yeah.
see if I get one more comment about looking like Gary Neville, I think my head's going to explode.
Secretly
but
loves it, but
it's tough, mate, because
is,
not all the
yeah.
you can't just go copy and paste to all the four or five platforms. Every platform's different.
people the watch industry isn't huge, so like people see them copying the swag and they go, oh well. That's
the amount of
brilliant, we
messages
watch
the
it.
amount of messages that I get saying, "Oh, look at this guy, mate, ripping you off," whatever. Like,
Yeah.
listen, I don't care. It is what it is. Like,
Yeah.
let people copy it.
That's
If they want
nice
to
because they're like, that is, you are copying Million Read watches.
Yeah,
We're
listen,
not copying anyone.
I copy people.
Well,
I'm going to put it out there, mate. I copy people, mate. 100%. There's one guy in particular. I don't know if I want to name him, but
no, don't.
I think his Instagram's very good. Very good. In fact, you know what? Yeah, I'm going to give him a shout out. Danny DWL.
Yeah, I suppose.
His Instagram has been fire for a long time.
37 minutes.
Fire for a long time. So I love the reels he does. What they've done now in the Burlington Arcade, a fantastic move for them. I think great, good on
Beautiful
them.
shot.
Wish them all the success. But his videos and the aesthetic of his Instagram, I think it really resonates with me, and I love it. So sometimes I copy a little bits of his, but that's a tip of the hat to him.
Yeah.
Good on him, because I like what he does, and so I don't mind the copying thing. Doesn't annoy me.
Yeah.
It's when it's like, what if I'm copying someone? I'm just trying to emulate a little bit of the style.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to completely copy what they're doing.
Which is what we're getting.
Yeah, which yeah, you kind of get, but I'm not trying to
It's better with you.
I'm
It
not
really
trying-
frustrates me.
Yeah, I'm not trying to be like, right, you've got a white t-shirt, blue jeans, and white trainers on, so I'm going to go and buy that t-shirt, those jeans, and those trainers. I maybe be like, right, well, maybe I'll wear a grey t-shirt, grey trainers, and blue jeans. Like, I'm just trying to be a bit
like Chris Brown.
use little parts of it,
Yeah.
and take that into maybe the artistic
Put it
direction.
in your style.
Yeah,
Put it in your way.
But DWL's Insta's cool.
Yeah.
And actually, 90 Mount Street, which is the RM boutique, the only
Yeah.
licensed secondhand RM boutique in London, their Instagram is very, very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good.
They put a lot of money into it though.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, they're on Mount
Yeah.
Street, mate. Can you imagine the rent there? It's probably £1 million a year. But theirs is great. Lifestyle-y, RM stuff, the models they have, they use cars, they're in the Connaught. Yeah, that's great. I'm into that kind of thing.
Yeah. I actually didn't realise we have a timer on it. So
What are we on? 37?
39.
39. Right,
This is, we're flying. So, well, we're not actually flying, this is the opposite.
Yeah.
We'll wrap this up. What does a typical day look like?
Done that. We've just done that.
Yeah, we have. How does the network work?
Mate, you're going to need to get used to this hosting at some point. Do you know what I mean?
God.
We're 3 episodes in.
I feel like I'm getting there.
How does what work?
Shit like that. How does the network work?
My network.
Like, let's say you're buying a watch.
Yeah.
How are you buying a watch? What happens?
So obviously you've got access, you build a network of trusted dealers. A few years ago, people would say, or a lot of watch dealers now would say, oh, I just send out things in the groups. Yes, you do that because it gives you big coverage in terms of that goes to 1,000 people's phones, and whoever has that watch can then message you back and say, I've got this, whatever.
Yeah.
But actually now what I find I do more and more is that I reach out to certain people that I know stock those kind of watches. And even if they don't have it, they'll know someone who does. And obviously then that enables you to build that relationship more and more and more with that person, the more watches that you buy from. And listen, like, there's a few people in the watch game that I really trust their opinion. And when I'm about to buy some stock or I'm being offered some stock, like, I'll pick up the phone. Picked up the phone to James yesterday. You know, was asking him about a price on a 5990 that we bought yesterday. I was on the phone to Steve last week asking him about a price for something because I really trust their opinion, and I know that they're not going to bullshit me with some other opinion. Whereas what might happen is if you phone someone you don't know and they've got that watch in stock, they might give you an inflated trade value of it because they know they've got it in stock. Whereas people that I trust and people that I do business with,
just tell you how it is, even if they've got 3 years. So you're talking about a group. Like, what is a group?
So a group's just a group of watch dealers that, you know, it could be 150, 200, 300, 400 people in the WhatsApp group, all trusted dealers that have been in the game for a long time and are vouched for by other people within the trade. That's just what a WhatsApp group is. I'm in about 45 of them on my phone. I wish I could narrow it down to 3 or 4, but I just can't bring myself to do it.
Don't want to miss something.
Yeah, it's just a fear of missing out, isn't it? But
and then also, so that's an element of buying. There's also the whole, like, Instagram. We get direct messages.
Loads of direct messages. Yeah, a lot of stock comes to me through Instagram, through private clients. Not a lot of trade stuff comes through Instagram because traders don't really look at it. But yeah, loads of private stuff comes through Insta.
And then how are you selling? Like, you have a watch in stock.
Social media, website, emails, email marketing, TikTok, you know, just all that sort of stuff.
You can sell down the average, like, you can buy through traders, you can also sell through traders, sell through private clients. Yeah,
there's a million different ways to sell stuff. If you buy rare stuff, then the amount of people that want to buy it from you is obviously a lot bigger. The rarer the thing is, you'll find that more dealers try and buy it off you. But yeah, so if you've got like a rare Patek or something, you'll find a lot of dealers try and buy it.
And then how easy is it sourcing? So if I come to you and say, look, mate, do you have a 5711 in stock? You say no. All right, do I look elsewhere? Like, what's the next step in something like that?
Yeah, I mean, I could probably get you most things in a day or two. Nothing is hard to get if you've got the money. I said this to you a couple of weeks ago. Like, can we get that guy that I said, is he willing to pay the money that it's going to cost to get it? Then yeah, you can get it. Nothing's hard to get. What becomes hard to get is when you're trying to find a deal. It's like a guy called me the other day, wanted a 116519 LN, which is no, mate, you used to get these references down. It's a white gold Daytona on Oyster Flex.
Oh yeah, I was testing you there.
With the grey slate dial, which is really cool watch, one of my favourite Daytonas. And he was like, look, mate, I've got 28 grand to spend. Can you find me one? That's when it becomes hard because you're trying to find a used one that is in really good condition, isn't over polished, isn't knackered,
but fits within a budget.
And is available within the UK to get that guy's watch. So that's when things become a bit more difficult to get. Had he phoned me and said to me, mate, can you get me a 126519 LN, which is the new reference one, I've got 35 grand to spend, fuck me, he'd have had it within 3 hours. Do you know what I mean? So it's the budget sometimes is the stringency on how easy or difficult something is to find.
So there's 3 questions here, but we can probably roll them into one. So what mistakes have you made? Ever been bumped on a watch? And your biggest loss? So why don't we just roll them into one?
Yeah, 2000, I don't know, 17 or 18 was that? I lost kind of 55,000 on a deal. Naively, I was just young, had been dealing with this guy for a long time. There's a full video on my TikTok about it. I had been dealing with this guy for a long time. I bought some watches, they didn't come. He then said that, well, if we buy these Pateks together, we can get the money back that we lost for the last deal, and we put the money in, and effectively the watches just never came. So kiss goodbye to that. And at that time, you know, that was pretty close to all I had.
Wow. Bounce back was real.
Bounce back ability, mate. Listen, I don't know if I've got another bounce back in me, so I'm all out of bounce.
Biggest W? Do you want to go into that?
Nah. It's obnoxious. No thanks.
Let's move on. That was the watches. Well done. Fashion. Yeah. Who do you think is the best dressed out there? Like celebrities, influencers?
Beckham. Anything that guy puts on looks cool.
You're big on Chris Brown.
Yeah, not really my style anymore though.
No, now you're sophisticated and
grown
up.
A wee bit more grown up. David Gandy, very well dressed. There's There's a guy I follow on Instagram. Actually, my phone's over there. I would tell you he's cool dressed. I can't remember his name.
We both like the
Odell Beckham Jr. is cool as well. And is it
who's the PSG
Zakimi?
player?
Hatish Zakimi.
Yeah.
He plays. Is he left back, right back?
Moroccan, right?
Moroccan guy plays.
PSG.
He plays for PSG. He's cool as well.
Yeah, he's up there.
Like that picture, he's got the Bottega shoes on and he's got the Birkin cargo.
Yeah. Aye.
That's like a 50, 60 grand bag and he's just chilling like with it. He's got like a black cardigan on, white t-shirt. Just dead simple, but just like
I know.
Cool.
If you know, you know.
Cool. My pal Max is very well dressed.
Yeah, Max is.
Like sometimes his outfits are a bit rascal. He did have a sheen pink vest on last year in Ibiza that was a bit rascal. But I won't lie, I do copy some of Max's swag.
Yeah. Well,
he is fucking very well dressed.
He is. He's probably one of the best dressed people that I personally know.
He's very well dressed. I'll give him that.
But when I first met you, you were kind of phasing out of it, but you had some rascal clobber. Can't argue it. Go back on the Instagram. Go to the bottom.
Piss off, man, honestly. Nah? A few rips in my jeans and a pair of McQueens, mate. That was a style 7 or 8 years ago.
He's a centre on though. So,
do you know what I mean?
You know.
I know if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't have bought them, mate.
That's true.
So give me peace.
One of the best pickups ever. Fashion X.
Fashion X. Do you know what's a massive ick? And I don't know if it's a fashion ick, but just a general consensus for guys in general. The blue blazer, white shirt, blue jean, brown belt, brown shit flickers. That is a no-go for any event. Do you know what I mean?
Not just even Cheltenham? No?
Nah, the jeans with the shit flickers and the brown belt, the white shirt and the light blue blazer, that's a no-go, mate.
Ankle socks with skinny jeans.
Aye, the skinny jeans have got to go. Mm-hmm. That's a massive ick, but...
You're quite big on the suits. You have to wear a suit well.
That comes from my dad. My dad used to wear suits every single day, so I got that from him. It's so easy to get a well-fitting suit.
Yeah.
So many people do it wrong, and it's not even expensive. So there's really no excuse for it. I just think people are guided by the wrong people. But I've got 2 suits, a navy blue one and a charcoal grey one. I've never had another suit.
You can wear that anywhere, right?
So 2 colours, don't need any more suits. I got the charcoal grey one from Suit Supply. I took that charcoal grey suit into Forbes in Glasgow and said, make me that in blue. And they made me it in blue, and I don't need any other suits. That's it. Perfect. Done. Finished.
What was cheaper, Forbes or Suit Supply?
Suit Supply. It was the most expensive Suit Supply done. It was about 900 quid. Plus the tailoring was like 140. And I think Forbes was about 1,600 quid.
Oh, run it down.
But both really nice suits.
You're here telling people it's not that expensive to get a nice suit.
But listen, you could spend 300 quid on a suit that you might need to buy 4 or 5 in a lifetime. Just go and spend good money on one. 1,000, 1,500 quid and it'll last you a lifetime.
Yeah.
My dad's got suits like that he wears, that he's had for 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
So,
dream shoe. If you had the
trophy room or a Air Jordan 1 Off-White Chicago.
Great shoe.
I do like the blue ones as well. I'd have all 3, the white, the blue, the red. Did they do a yellow one? Or am I tripping?
Sorry, no, there was a white, which was a Europe exclusive. There was a blue, which is the UNC, and then there was a red.
Yeah. Although I do love the yellow Air Force 1 Off-White.
Yeah.
Is it like a silver swoosh?
Yeah.
It's a cool shoe, that as well.
Biggest regret selling for me, that was probably...
Yeah, you sold your Off-White one, didn't you?
Yeah, we'll maybe talk about that story on another
That's actually a really cool story about when Josh met Virgil.
Yeah. We'll talk about that story. Yeah, we'll come back to that.
You're actually cooler than you look.
Thanks very much. Do you know what I mean? This may look like a charity shop fine, but this is actually from the Rose Bowl flea market. This watch here, my pal's watch. These shoes, nah, they're fine. What was your biggest regret selling?
I don't really have selling regrets. No, I sold my Dior Rimowa suitcase. That I regret a little bit.
I don't know how it's a regret because you have like 12 suitcases, all that fucking expensive.
I do regret selling that because I liked it, but I just thought I'd overdone it. I think I only bought it for like $1,000 and I sold it for 1,500 quid or something.
I mean, even that, I went down to London last week to meet a client. He's texted me going, "Oh, can you pick me up a suitcase?"
I nearly bought the orange one of that suitcase the other day. The guy only wanted £1,000 for it. It's over $3,500 retail.
Bargain.
I thought it's good. I just buy them, mate. I'll use them for 6 months, get a few pics for the gram, and then punt them. Get my money back plus 500 quid.
Thanks very much.
Easy done.
Cool things you've had pass through your hands. This could be watches, this could be bags, this could be you know, anything you might have middleman or
those
seen.
those Birkin bags last year were epic.
Yeah.
The green croc with the diamond hardware and the Himalayan Kelly.
Yeah. What about watch?
Very, very
What's like the
cool.
coolest watch you've had?
My dream
in your
watch,
hands?
actually, shout out Colby's and actually Watches London, who have both had this watch available, and I've had it in my hand, which is one of my Grail watches, which is an AP 39mm perpetual calendar skeleton. They both had it in rose gold. The yellow gold one's the one I want. But I was like, wow. I honestly was thinking, could I sell the Doug to keep this? Like, it was so cool. But
need
at the
multiple
time,
Dougs.
it was like over 300 grand at Colby's. But that was like height of the market. They weren't like super expensive. That just was the price back then.
Yeah.
And I actually phoned the guy from Watches London and said, should I buy that? He said, don't buy it, it's too expensive. And then he had one, I think he was asking like 150 for a few months ago. But that's a very, very, very cool watch.
Yeah.
That's the only one of my top 3 that I've actually physically held.
Yeah. What about a cool RM?
I've seen loads of cool RMs. 3503 or 3502, which is the new Rafa. I met a guy in Hatton a couple of months ago. He had that on his wrist. Nutcase.
That's mental.
Yeah, it's like $600,000 or something. Crazy watch. Nice go.
Some guy. What is your dream item? Piece of clothing? Bag?
A car? What?
No, not a
Dream
car.
item?
Like fashion related. Could be a watch. Could be.
I'd love a car, like a Hack Birkin, like a Hack 50, like the travel one. You know how
the
Luigi
big
has
one.
it.
Yeah.
Like OBJ's had it. The cargo one that Hakimi had.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's a cool thing. They're just so expensive. They're like 50.
How much are they?
The cargo ones are like 50, but like the normal ones are like 12, 15.
Yeah.
So cool. Just like travel with that.
Yeah. What about
Cool
a piece of clothing? Like a Grail piece? Like an LV jacket or.
Nah, I've had an LV jacket before. Like, I don't know. The problem with the LV jackets is once you wear them, I'd love a Tom Ford dinner suit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like a balls to the wall. Like, I paid X amount, got it all fitted, done the whole Tom Ford shoes, Tom Ford dinner suit. Like, the proper shit.
The full Monty.
The full Monty. I'd love one of them, but I think, I don't know how much that would be.
Yeah.
6 or 7 grand or something, probably.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, I would have one of them.
A Crockett and Jones shoes for sure. Well, you did a quick fire in the first episode. Brands you're fucking with. You gave me one, but maybe give me like 5, 6 brands people should be looking out for.
So obviously we said Ash yourself. Shout out to Cuba, actually.
Yeah. Where's that jacket?
Damien Don, actually. I think there's another guy. Forgive me because I don't remember his name, but this jacket's Cuba. Everyone always asks where my jackets are from. It's from Cuba. They do some fucking sick stuff. I think it's like vegan leather, like great price point. Looks like £1,000 jacket, but it's 260 quid or something, like whatever it is. Everyone's always asking where that black one's from, and the green one. I think they've got an orange one. They've got a white one coming out. Like, mate, the stuff that they do is very, very good.
Yeah.
The t-shirt fits ridiculous as well, like so good. But Cuba, I think, will be big this year. Looking forward to seeing what they've got coming out for the summer. What else we got? Some of the Nova stuff, like shout out Jack as well.
Yeah.
Jack was on holiday with us last year.
Friend of the pod.
A bit of a nutcase, but yeah, some of his stuff is really cool as well. The beachwear, like particularly the trousers and stuff.
Yeah.
I had a great pair of trousers that you fucking shrunk. That were my favourite trousers. They were from Novu. So yeah, I don't know, like loads of stuff. St. Michael's always a good one as well. They do a bit out there stuff.
That's good. You've given it brands that fit, multiple budgets.
Yeah, expensive. St. Michael's obviously super expensive. I wish Marnie would do a bit more and move away from the mohair shit and just do a bit more cool stuff.
Well, though, you're kind of a Marnie king. You've got a couple cool bits.
Yeah, shirt, hat, t-shirts. The old stuff Marnie used to do. Actually, talking about Max has got a really cool Marnie hoodie. It says Marnie across the back. Have you seen it on his Insta?
It's grey or something.
He's got what are the Jordan 3s called that are half black, half white? I've got them.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, they're like Jordan 3s, but they're half black, half white.
Fizz?
What?
Fizz?
No, they're 3s.
Yeah.
Half black at the bottom, white at the top.
Oh,
fragments. Fragment 3s.
Fragment 3s.
He's got like velour joggies on, Fragment 3s, Marnie hoodie. It's probably one of my favourite outfits I've ever seen. I feel like I'm sucking up Max's arse.
Yeah, shouts out Max.
Nah, he's got some cool clover. Let me give him
Swaggy Max.
Swaggy Max. Nice. That's a cool outfit though.
His dog's got more swag than me, to be fair. Goyard collars and stuff. Brands to stay clear of?
Palm Angels.
Yeah, you're not a fan of the Palm.
Such a shame, because some of the stuff that they brought out last year, the quality of the hoodies and joggers and stuff was 10 out of 10.
I mean, they're not cheap.
They're just way over branded.
Yeah.
Palm Angels for me. What's another one? Trying to think.
Boohoo.
Nah, not even. Like, I've bought some stuff from there before, like some plain stuff. But Palm Angels is definitely a big one. Yeah, Triple S's and tracks need to go as well.
Best places to shop. Why don't we do a couple cities in the UK and then we can
Manchester's
venture
really
around.
good. My sister works in Selfridges, which is always quite good. London's obviously the best.
Yeah.
Glasgow's got a good shopping scene. It's just a wee bit behind the times.
Yeah.
Yeah, London's great. Milan's really good.
Yeah, Milan.
Milan's
Paris?
amazing. Paris is good as well. Just obnoxious people that work in the stores. But
Tell you the best place to shop. LA.
LA, yeah, you love LA, don't you? I've never been.
It's got any brand.
Yeah.
Then there's brands that only have like one boutique in the world and they'll have it in LA.
Yeah, I've never been actually, so
Yeah.
tell me on.
56. We've actually got about 10 minutes. You want to keep going with the fashion stuff? Or?
Yeah, I mean, we could probably look at trying to wrap it up now in terms of like.
Right, well, should we jump into questions from Insta?
Let's do some Insta questions.
Yeah, right, let me load it up. It's not that one. It's this one.
Your hostings went down the tubes this episode, big man, eh?
You know what it is? I'm really into what you're saying.
No, because you're doing the thing that you done in the first one, trying to preempt the question.
I'm just not really with it, to be honest. It's a Friday, mate.
Thank God
Right.
they didn't give you a beer. Fuck's sake.
You can only wear one watch from now on. You have 20k. What are you having?
Oofed. Good question. I don't know. 20 grand, one watch.
20 grand.
Steel Daytona.
Great watch.
In fact, no. Take that back. I'm going to go yellow gold Daytona, leather strap, white dial, old reference. You'd get one of them for under 20 grand. You'd probably maybe
A
need
lot
to
of
go.
watch.
You'd maybe need to go no papers. That's a cool watch. I'd have
Yeah.
that. I'd maybe even have the white gold Mother of Pearl dial, which is nearly the watch that I convinced mum and dad to buy me for my birthday years and years and years and years and years ago when I first wanted my first watch.
Well,
I
thank
remember-
God they didn't, because you wouldn't have sold that and you wouldn't be here.
Exactly. So everything happens for a reason. But
Exactly.
I'd have one of those too.
Yeah. This is a good question. Who is your favorite YouTube creator? So let's do your favorite watches, and then this guy lives on YouTube. So why don't you do like a overall?
I mean, like, I cannot stop laughing at Joey Coldcuts from.
You call me cold cuts. I don't know if I should take that.
Joey Coldcuts from Bob Does Sports. He is like my spirit animal for sure. He's so funny. See when he sings Tennessee Whiskey and he's such a good voice, mate. He's just hilarious. That's a golfing channel for those of you who haven't seen it. But Joey Coldcuts is hilarious. I think that their content's 10 out of 10. Watch content, Roman Scharf is great. He's
An educator.
top of the tree. Yeah, he's very good. Very good.
Where do you see the market going within the next year? Will prices rise or fall further?
Prices will be stable for a year. They're not going to go up massively. They're not going to go down. They'll be the same. Unless anything comes drastically out at Baselworld, you'll be looking at stuff kind of staying between 5 and 10% of what it is now.
And I mean, is there any more rumours about Baselworld?
No, I mean, I'm not talking about rumours, because rumours are a lot of crap and no one actually knows what happens until they lift that curtain on the day and people see what's coming out. See if I see someone put up, is a Rose sub going to come out this year? You know, are we finally going to see some crap Rolex that everybody's desperate to see? Like, are we finally going to see a yellow gold Submariner with a green Hulk dial? Go away. Do you know what I mean? Nobody knows. Until they lift the curtain, nobody knows.
Yeah.
So just everybody fucking relax.
Well, someone's then.
When it happens, it happens. Because none of the rumours are ever true.
Yeah. Someone's also said, at what time of year do Rolex usually make updates on their lineup?
April.
But that was Baselworld, right? Yeah. £5,000 to buy one watch to wear throughout your 20s. What would it be?
Cartier Tank Louis in stainless steel, large version.
Yeah.
Or if you can find a vintage one, I would have that.
Yeah. A lot of the questions are repeating itself. I buy, sell fashion clothing items online, but want to get into watches. How do I know the market? I suppose it's similar to what we were talking about.
So he's asking, how does he know where to buy and where to sell? Go on Chrono24, take 7% off the price, and then you'll find what that watch will sell for and what it'll return the dealer.
Yeah.
So let's just say, for example, a watch is on Chrono24 for 10 grand. 7% is the most you'll pay. If they take 7% off that, then the dealer will retain 9,300 quid. Roughly 10% margin. You can take about 900 quid off that, and then you'll find out where you should be buying that watch for a trade price.
Good.
It's just rough maths. It's not. Every deal's different. Every watch owes a dealer what it owes them. It's not exact maths.
Yeah.
Give you a rough idea of what kind of a trade price is.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, there was a lot of questions in there. A lot of them are the same. So, and that is our time. So,
yeah, time's up. We're all good. Finished. Episode 3 is done. So this will be out next Thursday.
Yeah, 2 weeks.
Next Thursday, 2 weeks and Thursday.
But keep hitting us with what you guys want to see in the podcast. Like, at the moment, we're kind of freestyling what we think you want to hear.
I think we're going to have a guest on. The next one we'll have a guest.
Yeah?
Yeah, we're going to have a guest. And I've got a few people in mind that'd be quite good to bring on the pod. So
yeah.
And we can grill them about some questions. Maybe not all watch related, but let's just wait and see. But anyway, thanks guys. I appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.